What's up everybody, it's Durkee here, and today I'm going to be playing my absolute favorite style of deck, Logbait. The variant that I'm going to be using today is with the Evo Knight, the E-Spirit, the Tesla, and the Goblin Gang. I think this is one of the best variants in the meta. You could also run it with an Inferno Tower if you struggle with beatdown decks. You could also put in Goblins instead of Goblin Gang as well. I just love this deck. It's so fun to play. It's good at all levels of Clash, mid-ladder, top ladder, bottom ladder, in-between ladder. It's just a really good deck. So I'm going to hop into some games and give you tons of tips and tricks for how to play this deck. Before we do that, I just want to ask anyone watching to go ahead and smash that like button, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It is completely free for you, but it helps me a ton, so I appreciate that, and let's get into some games. People ask me all the time for tips and tricks for how to run Logbait. I'm going to Princess in the opposite lane here, and I always tell them to make sure you identify how your win condition changes based on the deck that you're playing against. So sometimes you can't really get barrel damage. You need to rely on the Princess to get damage, or you need to rely on Rocket Chip. Like if you're playing against Graveyard, it basically just becomes a Rocket Cycle match. So you just need to be very, very flexible, and this deck does have a lot of different win conditions, so keep that in mind. So it looks like we're going to be up against Minor Poison. Like I mentioned, in this deck, it's not super easy for us to get barrel damage, so you might see me cycle Rockets on the tower. I'm going to try and sneak in a Princess at the bridge. We'll see if my opponent catches it. Okay. And the way that you're supposed to play this deck is it's supposed to be like a very patient deck. You don't get lots of damage at one time. You're kind of just trying to out-chip your opponent. So you can see there I played my Goblin Gang on the left for the Little Prince, and then I saved my Knight for the Minor Royal Delivery. My opponent's style of deck is also like a chippy deck. So this is going to come down to, you know, who can not take more damage. I guess that's what it always comes down to, but you'll see what I mean. Like, if I ever give up more than 300 or 400 damage on a single push, I'm pretty upset. Pretty nice that my opponent messed up their poison. I'm going to Goblin Barrel in the back so they can't log the back of the tower in the front. Okay, I actually misplaced that barrel, but I don't know what my opponent was doing, honestly. So we get a ton of damage. And the great thing about this deck is if you get a damage lead, like the one I have now, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the game unless you make a massive mistake. So one tip that I have for when you're playing Minor Poison specifically is you want to save your Knight for the Minor if you can. Obviously there's instances when you can't, but the reason you do this is because you don't want to give them poison value. So if I were to be playing my Goblin Gang, they could poison it and it would be really good value for them. So I'm going to go like this. They have an Evil Knight as well, so this is kind of scary. I'm going to drop a Tesla. If they do take my tower or do a lot of damage to my tower, it will be with this push. So I'm going to go ahead and go like this. This is one instance where I am actually going to cycle my Minor. Or, sorry, play Goblins on their Minor because they had the Evil Knight in cycle. Okay, so good defense there. We're fine. I could play Princess at the bridge. I was going to say they'll probably predict it. So we didn't take too much damage there, depending on what he plays. Okay, so whenever the opponent wastes a bomb tower like that against Minor control, you're pretty safe to cycle a Rocket, because worst thing they do is they go for a Minor Poison, and that's fine for me. You'll notice again I'm playing my Knight, not my Goblin Gang. He's predicting the Princess at the bridge. That's very well played. And that's fine for me because they're wasting Elixir, you know? Like they predicted the Princess. They basically threw away 3 Elixir Knight. Okay, he gave me Rocket value there. I think I missed, but it literally doesn't even matter. Oh, no, I hit it. Okay. And we're just 2 Rockets away. We're going to get there before him. That's actually within Rocket range right now. So I'm going to go ahead and cycle to my Rocket, which I believe does 371. And very, very good game. That wasn't the best Minor control player I've ever played, but hopefully that was helpful for you if you struggle with that matchup. And that's a good game, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, into our next match here. Good starting plays with this deck. I actually really like Goblin Gang at the bridge. I think that's my personal favorite starting play. Obviously, if they play a Minor, I'm going to play it in the back. Okay, they also dropped the Wall Breakers. So we spent 1 more Elixir than they did, but we have a nice little counter push. Mother Witch is not a card that you want to see with this deck. So because they played those Goblins poorly, I'm actually going to pressure like this. And we're probably going to get a little bit of damage, and we do. Log on the right for the Piggies and the Mother Witch. Princess is going to help out with those bats. Okay, I'm going to Goblins around here. If you're really quick, you can catch the Minor with the Princess. But then you have to be kind of careful because good players will kind of bait you. And then they'll make you play your princess and then they'll arrows you. So it's kind of a whole little decision tree. Alright, like I said, Mother Witch. Not a really good card for us to be going up against, but we got to keep that in mind. It's so interesting when you run, you play against decks that have Mother Witch, you either like win or lose by if their Mother Witch gets value or not. He's probably going to go wall breakers behind this, so I'm going to have my Tesla ready. I'm going to go like this. Opts not to. Because I have my Tesla up, I am going to pressure with the Goblin Gang. I don't think they have Mother Witch in cycle, but if they were to drop a Mother Witch, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because we have the Tesla up. We get one Goblin hit. So yeah, in general with Logbait, not always, you want to go opposite lane as your opponent most of the time because you don't want them getting counter push in your lane. That's especially true with Graveyard, but like I said, it's kind of deck dependent. They messed up my Mother Witch, so because they messed up the Mother Witch, I'm going to go like this. Log to protect my princess. Oh, I was a little slow there, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to pressure here. Should force out something. We actually catch the bats, so that's awesome. And I don't think he has a really good response for this, so that's going to be a ton of damage to their tower. That was a really good time for me to pressure when the Mother Witch was out of cycle. Now we're only a few rocket logs away. They go for that, so I'm going to go ahead and play my Tesla. They're going to get a lot of damage, but they just spent a ton of elixir at the bridge, so I'm going to take my rocket. Okay. We're going to go like this, and then like this. And I need a Tesla here, otherwise those are going to connect. I'm nervous about the Mother Witch, but it would only spawn a few piggies, so I'm just going to chill here. Okay. Princess, just in case they go for wall breakers behind it, it'll splash. Nice, and that's actually rocket range, so we're in a really good spot here. So I was worried about the wall breakers, so that's why I go like this. I'm cycling back to my Tesla just to be extra safe. I didn't actually end up needing it because the princess and the E-Spirit did so much splash. But that's another good game. Similar matchup, but we'll take it. Whew. See you in the next one. I know our next match here against Chris. Let's see. Like I said, good starting plays, Goblin Barrel. I'm going to go like this to distract the mortar. He doesn't protect the mortar, so a simple Tesla should clean it up. Even with those guards, it's going to clean everything up. So Miner Mortar, kind of an annoying matchup. Not really a great matchup for Logbait. It's the third match in a row where we're going up against a poison, but you can win it if you play very well. Another matchup where you want to be going into the opposite lane. I guess same lane wouldn't be horrible, but it's not ideal. So they're not predicting the princess, so I'm going to go like this. We know they have guards, but what is their additional units? Minions. Okay. That's still going to get 2 shots. So for only 1 elixir, because it was a 3-for-3 trade, we get all that damage on the tower. They usually run log, unfortunately for you. I'm going to go knight here. Okay, I mixed up the mortar defense because, you know, I was worried about them predicting it. And now I'm going to Tesla here just to get it off the board. I could princess with this because we have a Tesla up, but I'm just going to let it go. That Tesla is going to help out with the little prince too, so it's not the worst thing to happen to us. Okay. That was a weird ice spirit. Guess he wanted to keep his little prince alive, yeah. Kind of makes sense, I guess. I'm going to go like this. He might poison, but I think it would be an overcommit because he spent, yeah, I was going to say, he spent a lot on the miner. He spent 3 on the ability. So we actually have a nice counter push. He cycles his log. Perfect timing. I was kind of hoping that that would happen. I think that Ice Spirit is actually going to hurt him because it's going to redirect onto the minion. I don't know why I did that. And so it actually takes out the minions. He's probably going to guards on this, but I got a ton of damage. There's a little bit of salt. My dude is salty. Okay. We have our rocket ready. Yeah, okay. So we're going to give him the well played on that. Beautifully. So when in general, you absolutely want to rocket the Evo Mortar. I think it's a good play. Goes for the minor poison. I'm going to see if I can get an E-Spirit on the tower. We'll see if they let me. Nah, they block it. That's well played. And this matchup, I hate to say it, but it's still so losable at this point in time. Okay, not the best. Kind of aggressive there because we have the Evil Knight in hand. It's going to tank for everything. He's desperately trying to protect all of this, but it's not going to be a good play because he won't be able to afford the log. He overspent there, and you can see we get way more damage than they're going to get with their mortar. He's going to go for the minor poison. Cycles a log for some reason. You can kind of feel the desperation coming out. That's like a good thing about this deck is you can force your opponents into making really bad decisions. So I'm going to go like this, and that's going to put it into rocket range. So good game. That was actually not that good of a matchup for us, but our opponent played pretty poorly. So we'll go ahead and give him a little bit of BM, and we'll see you in the next game. All right, into our next match here. We've had 3 matches in a row going up against a deck that runs poison. Can we make it 4? Okay, I actually love when they play a fire spirit, you can eat it with the princess, and then it'll survive with like a tickle of HP. Looks like we're going to be up against a bait mirror. Well, not a true mirror, but a similar bait deck. Or it could be Goblin Drill, possibly. But yeah, I haven't been able to show a starting play, but in general, a Goblin Barrel in the safe spot, like in the corner, is a good move. So that's actually over in the corner, so I'm going to go like this. So it is, yeah, it's a bait mirror-ish. But they have Dark Goblin and Fire Spirit. Okay, that's a fine play. He blocks the bridge. I don't know why he played it so high. Maybe he thought I was going to go for something at the bridge. And that Dark Goblin's okay. Like, it doesn't really do anything for him. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't break through. I was going to have to spend something on the Dark Goblin anyway. So, just interesting. One thing that I want to note right away is that I see that they have Evo Skeletons. So, we're going to want to be cognizant of that. I think Princess cleans that up. Beautiful, beautiful. And that they have a pretty fast cycle, especially with the Mighty Miner. If they drop the Mighty Miner in the back to get their 3-card cycle. I think he's going to Mighty Miner on this, so I'm not going to block the bridge. I thought about going for the Knight, but if you go for the Knight and they go for the Mighty Miner, it's not a good look. He'll probably Mighty Miner on this, yeah. I'll just let it go. Okay, that's in the back. You can kind of tell by the way he placed the barrel. So whenever you're playing against Logbait, any variation of it, you want to save your log if you can. Like, if you can counter the barrels using your Goblin Gang, then you have the luxury of logging other things like the Dark Goblin or the Princess or something like that. I think Tesla cleans that up. Okay. Knight here to eat the Dark Goblin. And I was a little slow on that. That's kind of frustrating. E-Spirit behind. Okay, interesting. Does not play anything on the Evil Knight. So I'm actually going to log this. The reason is it's going to keep my Mighty Miner healthy. Or my Evo Knight healthy. Nice, and we force out the Evo Skeleton, so I'm fine with that. No complaints on my end. We force out the log. My boy kind of panics, and he puts his barrel on the side, so we can go for the Knight, and we're actually not going to take any damage. And then we can log the Dark Goblin because we don't have to worry about anything else. And then we're going to go like this. I don't know about that. I don't know about that ability. I'm gonna be honest. I don't 100% know what that accomplished. Okay, we cycle back to our log, and that log's going to hit the Dark Goblin. We only eat 1 shot. We could go for a rocket, but not going to. Unfortunately, we don't have E-Spirit in cycle, so I have to waste my gang. The Fire Spirit actually does so much damage on the tower, so we don't really have the luxury of ignoring it. Tesla, like this, is out of the range of a Dark Goblin at the bridge. Okay. We're starting to feel the heat a little bit of his quick cycle. So I'm going to go like this, eat it, and then he won't be ready. Beautiful. Force out the log. We'll see what he plays. Maybe Skeletons. Evo Skeletons. Amazing. Anytime we can force out the Evo Skeletons like that, we're happy campers. He plays that in the back, so I'm going to just go ahead and log the Evo Skeletons away. So important to be able to spot the barrel placements. It's really, really helpful. So he kind of... Nah, I'll just Princess High. I was thinking of Princessing in another spot. E-Spirit to reset the Mighty Miner. And then I'm going to log like this to reset it one more time. Should keep my Princess alive. We have Goblin Gang for their barrel. If they do go for it. We're going to get a second Princess down. And triple Elixir is a good time to start cycling Rocket. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You want to be the first person to cycle the Rocket if you can. Okay, Goblin Gang in front like this. We catch the barrel. And I think if he had a Rocket, he would have gone for the Rocket cycle back. So this is already looking good for us. I'm going to test a low like this. It's going to help out with anything he plays at the bridge. There is the Rocket, okay? To be expected, we can Rocket them back. That barrel's in the back once again, so I spotted it. I'm able to counter with the Goblin Gang. You can see we're already back to another Goblin barrel here. He doesn't have a login cycle. He wastes his Evo Skeletons. He's not using them for offense. We're going to Tesla like this. I accidentally put it in range of the rocket, but I don't think they'll notice. Actually, Tesla goes underground, so it's not a problem. And he doesn't have enough time to get enough rockets down, so we're going to block the bridge here. Get ready with our Goblin Gang. We have our login cycle. That's a good game. And it wasn't really close. I mean, they played well, but 1,000 HP damage in a bait matchup is really good. So we're going to take the dub. See you in the next one. Into our next match here. We haven't played any like beat down decks. I don't want to jinx it, but that would be a nice matchup to be able to showcase. Oh, wow. I wished it into existence. Interesting. Okay. So because we don't have our rocket in hand, I'm just going to set up a defense. It's fortunate that we do have E-Spirit though. So if they go for a tank, we can try and chain on to the Sparky. Okay. Weird deck. I'm going to block the Sparky shot and then go like this. And the Tesla should help clean that all up. Not often you see Tesla. Not often you see Sparky Goblin Barrel. Probably because it's bad. But we're running this deck in a grand challenge right now. So you never really know what you're going to see. Okay, we forced out the arrows. A lot of times if they run Sparky, they have minions. So I'm going to drop my princess here. And then knight for the giant skeleton. I misplaced that knight a little bit. I wanted both towers to be able to target it. Okay, he went for some clone shenanigans, so... Oh, you can't be serious, bro. Alright, so that was a mistake. I mistaked my Goblin Gang there. But I can already tell that we can make a comeback. This guy's playing a super cheesy deck, so I'm very confident in our ability to bring this game back. And it'll be super satisfying when we can give our opponent the well played. I'm actually going to ignore that barrel because... Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and pressure here. The reason I ignored that barrel is because he already got more damage on the opposite side. So it was worth us to just ignore that barrel. And you can see in doing so, it gave us a massive Elixir lead. And we were able to take essentially their entire tower. Wow. So good move by us. So yeah, he gave us the well played, ironically. We'll go ahead and give him the well played back. Pretty confident that we can clutch out this game. That's already one rocket range. Question is, does he have a mirror? I know he has a clone, but I don't know if he has a mirror. I'm rocketing that just to be safe, not because I need to. I could get away with rocketing it later, but... Okay, I'm going to cycle to a barrel. Hopefully force out something. I go like this. Nice. Forced out the arrows. And we're just chilling. I mean, it's up to them to make a play. I'm going to go like this. I want to save my rocket if I can. Maybe that'll panic, force out a Skarmy. Beautiful, it does. Now he can't like go for like a cheeky clone Skarmy push. We're going to go like this. And I'm not even worried about that. We're going to go like this. He's going to try and clone it or something, but it doesn't even matter. Yeah, he did try and clone it. So I told you we were going to be able to come back. You don't need to panic when you're running Logbait. So that's a good game. We'll see you in the next one. Match here. And I'm interested to see if we can like play against Golem or Lava Hound or something like that. Maybe Hog Rider. Okay. Log here. Nothing else in my hand would full counter. I guess Knight would have, but... I'll print this at the bridge. Maybe drop skeletons or something on it. We'll have our E-Spirit ready. Goes for the log. We're going to Knight low for these archers. And... I was going to say Expo, but it's definitely not Expo. I'm going to Goblin Barrel in the safe spot and E-Spirit to tank. He cycled his log, so we'll see how they defend this. Nice. It forces out the Fireball, and he actually misses one of the Goblins. Okay, we need to be careful of wall breakers. Goblin Drill. Okay. He still could go for wall breakers. Yeah, there they are. I'm going to Tesla high for them. Okay, and then we don't need to play anything else. You can see I was wary of the wall breakers, and we actually defend very, very well. Goblin Drill Fireball is really annoying because in double and triple Elixir, they can kind of just go for... let's see if they predict it. They don't predict the princess. We're going to go like this. Well played, but he still has to spend something else on it. So yeah, what I was saying is they'll go for drill fireballs, and it's so frustrating. It's very hard to defend. I'm going to take the log here. And so you need to kind of change up how you defend the goblin drills. And not a lot of people know how to properly defend a goblin drill, so hopefully I can demonstrate it. I wish I had Ice Spirit instead of E-Spirit, but it's all good. I'm going to cycle all night. In this matchup, I don't necessarily need to go crazy with it. So I'm going to E-Spirit here for that first goblin, and then we're going to log it. If you have Ice Spirit, you can prevent all of that damage, but alas, we do not. Okay, he has log in hand. We're probably going to end up rocket cycling because they can defend pretty easily. Nice, we don't get any damage. Okay, we do have Evil Knight in hand. That's awesome. Might Tesla early. We'll see what they do, if they support it or not. Okay, takes the Fireball on the Princess. I'll probably go for a rocket here. Like I mentioned, it's really, really difficult for us to get damage. One goblin shot's not horrible, but it is what it is. Goblin barrel in the back. Maybe he'll miss a log. You're kind of hoping for something cheeky. It doesn't happen for us, unfortunately. But we have a really, really good lead. So we'll take the rockets where we can get them. Goes in for the drill. I feel like they're going to go for wall breakers as well. So I'm going to go like that. They don't, but I don't need to spend anything else at this moment in time. Late log here, and as well as a goblin gang. Good pre-log, actually. That's very well played, but it didn't accomplish too much for them. I would like my knight to live. They do. E-Spirit here. And I went for the barrel because they cycled their log with that push. So it forced out a lot of Elixir, 5 Elixir from our opponent. So that's awesome. Goes for the Fireball on the Princess. It's not a bad play. Activates King Tower, though. I don't know about that. Definitely a mistake by my opponent. Okay. Okay, switches lanes. He gave us a lot of log value, though. I do think that that's a mistake. We're going to go like this. And then they're pressuring hard here. But he has to defend that Evil Knight, and he has to defend the barrel. Because that Evil Knight's going to get a ton of damage. Beautiful. So that was a good time for us to pressure. That Evil Knight's still going to go in. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we're approaching triple Elixir. It might be time to rocket cycle. I'm going to go for it. I think I can get away with it. I definitely can. Yep. King Tower's helping out so much. Beautiful. Beautiful defense there. Princess opposite lane of the lane that he has the fireball damage already. It's going to help out with any wall breakers that they play at the bridge. He takes the fireball on the opposite lane. I don't agree with that play. I mean, I'm not the one running this deck, but pretty sure that's not a good play. Interesting, interesting. I've never seen that before. I'm going to write it off as a misclick. I could be wrong. Okay. Already back to another drill. His cycle's really fast, but we're fine. We're keeping up. Tesla high here. Evil Knight's going to clean up the drill. I don't need to spend anything else on it. And I'll probably try and sneak in a rocket here. I don't necessarily need it, but... Okay, we're going to go like this. He spent goblins on the Princess, so we can get away with the rocket, no problem. E-Spirit log is going to clean up all of this. You don't have to worry about anything. He also just cycled his log. He has nothing for that. Defensive Fireball means he can't use it with the drill. And the only way we lose is a wall breaker connection, so we're going to go ahead and get our Tesla down. And that's a textbook game against drill, and my boy is upset. We're going to go ahead and give him the... Good game. We'll see you in the next one. Into our next game. And if you can't tell by now, I love Logbait. It's my favorite style of deck. Some people think it's annoying. I don't think it's that strong in the meta currently, so I have no gripes with it. Log plus Goblin Gang full counters a Hog Rider. Okay, first Hog Rider game so far. Hog EQ. We got our first not great matchup of the day, unfortunately, but it is what it is. You don't always have good matchups. We're going to E-Spirit like this. It's going to take care of the Firecracker, and then we're going to quickly Princess at the bridge. You see that. We'll usually get at least 2 hits with that one. Okay. Now this push is going to be tricky to stop. I think he's cycling back to a Hog Rider. Knight here. Unfortunate timing. Log to make sure that we don't take any damage. And it is just really hard for us to stop these pushes. So we need to defend as best as we can. Getting the King Tower activated like I just did helps so much. But at the end of the day, if they play better than you, you really can't win in this matchup specifically. So it is what it is. We're going to do our best here. Maybe they'll Earthquake that. Perfect defense. Unfortunate I gave them value with that log. Yeah, he said oops. That was a mistake, but I'm happy I defended the hog without going for a building. So at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing. He's not predicting my princess, so I'm going to go for it at the bridge in the opposite lane. We're going to get 2 shots, so I'm happy with that. Kind of slow reactions by my guy. And now his Mighty Miner's going in the opposite lane. If he pops the ability, we're going to go for the Tesla, because it means he'll probably go for a hog with it. Beautiful. Okay. Goes for the EQ. We're going to force out a log here, I think. Or an Ice Spirit, something. Okay, there's the log. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's going to get a good amount of damage. And that's what I'm talking about, is like, if you're going to win in this matchup, you need to make plays like that. So, really aggressive ability and really aggressive Earthquake, and you can see it cost them. I'm going to continue to be aggressive. I want to put it into rocket range. Okay, he goes for the Evo Firecracker. He's going to go in for something here. We don't know what. Probably a hog. There it is. And you can see I pushed the hog over with the knight there. I originally messed up the placement. I don't want to take any damage here, so I'm going to go for a log to be absolutely certain. And, ooh! 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 I thought we were gonna eat that Firecracker, but luckily we don't. We're going to go like this, in case they go in with the Hog Rider. He's hogging into a Goblin Gang, and we look amazing in a matchup that I promise you is not great. And we messed up the Tesla placement too, but oh, 1 hit's not bad. At this point, we just need to defend 1 more Hog Rider push, and we're okay. I'm going to Goblin Barrel in the back. I might even pre-place my Tesla because I don't want to choke. He misses the log. Okay, he's not breaking through, so we'll go ahead and give him the good game. Misplaced the Tesla again. Good game! We'll see you in the next one. Okay. So we actually haven't lost a game so far. We're looking really awesome. I mean, like I said, this deck's really good. We've had a variety of matchups. I think the one matchup that I would hate to come across is Royal Recruits, Royal Hogs, like, you know, all that spam. It's not great. Okay, we get another hog deck. Go ahead and take the log on it. There's a lot of different hog variations. Hog EQ is the most common, but sometimes you'll face 2.6. Hog Valkyrie is also less common, but we do see it sometimes. Okay, he spent a lot of elixir there. I'm going to go like this to reset the little prince fire rate. And we're fine. Goes for the log as well. Kind of aggressive. He still has to play something on my princess, right? So we're going to go like this. And he doesn't have log in hand. He still has to spend on the princess. So my boy's in a disaster situation here. You're going to see we're going to take a third of their tower because of that aggression. So was it worth it for my boy at the end of the day? Probably not. I'm going to take my King Tower activation as well. Sometimes you want to be wary about cycling your knight, but the way this dude's playing, I'm not too worried about it. And we'll have our Evo Knight in hand next, so that's awesome. And he just spent 5 elixir on that, so we are so fine. Okay. I don't mind cycling a princess into an Inferno Tower. He'll still have to spend something on it. Not going to mess up the Tesla placement this time. I was going to say, we don't know what their big spell is yet, but we just figured it out. It is the Earthquake. Okay, we'll see what he spends on this. Goes for the Valkyrie. That's reasonable. We're going to Goblin Gang really low. I didn't actually need the E-Spirit. I thought I messed up the placement, but it pulls the Valkyrie into the middle, so that's really awesome for us. I'm probably just going to log here. And we're chilling. We are chilling like a villain. Okay, good little prince in the back. I think he'll still have to log if he wants to not take any damage, so it doesn't really matter. Evo Knight a really good response to the little prince, because when the Evo Knight is walking, it takes significantly less damage. Tesla here. An Earthquake everything, but my princess is going to live with 1 HP. You can see Evo Knight is going to take like barely any damage in this interaction. Evo Firecracker is going to get 1 shot, but we're going to quickly go for our Princess Goblin Gang, and it'll be hard for him to defend both sides for no damage. Okay, can we maybe get the goblins? Oh, I thought I was going to predict the goblins. I was right, he just played them in a different spot, so well played to my opponent. I want to Electro Spirit because if I don't, the Firecracker is going to splash on my tower. Okay, we're fine. We're good, we're good, we're good. Tesla here. Not the greatest Tesla placement, but it really doesn't matter. My opponent's slowly catching up, so we might need to accept our fate and start going for rocket cycles soon. It is what it is. You can't fall behind in this type of game. Okay. I'm going to go... I want to pressure both lanes if I can. He cycles the log, and he doesn't have a Valkyrie in hand, so he's going to struggle to defend that. I can also ignore that Valkyrie because it's going opposite lane. And what did I tell you? He's going to struggle to defend it. We actually took their entire tower, the opposite tower of the lane we were going for. So that's a good game, and we'll see you on the next one. Into our next match here. Against Lorenzo. We're just chilling right now. We're just chilling. I'll go ahead and open up with the Goblin Gang. I think splitting it at the bridge is nice. It forces out a response on usually both lanes, but at least one lane. A lot of Little Prince. That card is just everywhere. It's so good right now. Definitely an S tier card in the game. They don't pop the ability, so I'm just going to go for my E-Spirit and eat one shot. Just call it a day. Okay, Little Prince Goblins. Could be a lot of things. Minions tell us a little more. I don't really have a great hand for this, so I'm going to kite one of them back with the Knight. Oh, nice. We get both of them. Perfect. Goes for the Fisherman. Fisherman is usually a telltale sign of Royal Giant. Like, and Fireball would make sense. So, probably Royal Giant. So, interesting. I wish I had Inferno. Might have a Mother Witch, too. I should be careful with my Goblin Gang. We'll see. Okay, he might go in with the Royal Giant here. We're just going to see. Okay, nothing so far. He's just chilling. I respect that. Doesn't pop the ability either. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not RG. Maybe not RG like I thought. But recruits are a nuisance for us, if I'm going to be completely honest. They always are. They're always a struggle for bait. Tesla here. And then those shields are already off the recruits. So this is an easy defense. The unfortunate thing is that he does have the Evo recruits. So that's going to be just really tough for us to defend. No Tesla in hand, so we're going to cycle our Knight into the Goblin Giant here. See what they spend on the Princess. Goes for the Fisherman. Okay, well played, well played. Okay, we're going to pressure like this. If he spends more on this, he might spend like a Rage. He can't defend that side. Good. Okay, we force out the defensive Fireball. I'm going to Princess here as well. He'll probably Goblins on it. We can log it away. Yeah, beautiful. That was all that he had in hand. Once he cycled that Little Prince, that was really his only counter. That was in cycle, I should say. We're going to get a ton of Princess damage. So, really, really well-timed pressure. He's probably going to go in with the Goblin Giant here, if I had to guess. We're going to cycle to our Tesla. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, he just ignores everything. Are we surprised? No. Okay, we need to set up a defense here as well. If we can defend this push, we can win the game. We will win the game. Need to watch out for minions here. Go like this. We know they have a Fireball, so I'm going to Goblin Gang kind of high. A well-timed log here. We'll make sure that none of these recruits get on our tower. Goblin Gang really low. That's a good game. Another game, another dub. So well played to us. See you in the next one. To our next match here. With my starting hand of Goblin Barrel, Princess. I can just wait for a little bit. You don't always need to make the first play. I'll go ahead and show you where the safe spot is. That tile right there, kind of outward of the tower, is quote-unquote the safe spot. It just means that they can't activate King Tower with a NATO. So, Baby Dragon usually means graveyard, which is not good. You'll notice I played my Goblin Gang on the side of the tower, and what that did is it allowed it to fully counter the Baby Dragon for no damage. Skeletons are a good sign for us, to be honest. Might not be graveyard like we thought. I'm going to cycle a log. I'm scared to cycle an E-Spirit. I don't want to give them a free King Tower activation. Interesting. I'm going to go like this. They definitely have a Tornado if they have an E-Giant. And then we will also get our King Tower activated. Knight like this should activate my King Tower. Beautiful, we get it. And it looks like we're going to be up against Elixir Golem. So that King Tower activation is huge. Okay, I want to try and force out a spell. Because we have the King Tower activated, I can pretty much ignore that Battle Healer. Okay, it does. Good, we force out the NATO. And then that Night Witch is taken care of. No NATO in hand. We're going to go like this. Do they have a Bar Barrel? We'll see. Nah, I don't think they do. And the chain of that E-Spirit is just amazing. Okay, so it's definitely going to be Elixir Golem. And instead of Inferno Dragon, looks like they're running Baby Dragon and a Mother Witch. And again, I'm going to ignore that. Like, I think it's fine. I would say their deck is so heavy, so it's so awkward for them to defend, right? Like, every card in their deck is like 5 or 6 Elixir pretty much. 4, 5, 6 Elixir. So, as long as they don't have a NATO or you can avoid them using their NATO, it's really easy for you to punish. So I'm going to pressure here. The only great response he'd have is a Tornado. And then he's going to ignore it. No surprise. The Elixir Golem special. And we just need to set up a defense. We want to make sure that we can get a good value rocket here, as well as have princesses down to support. So I'm going to princess in the corner here. And we want to make sure that we are able to rocket at least the healer, but hopefully everything. Okay, we hit everything except for the Electro Giant, or the E-Drag, which I'm okay with because we hit 3 other troops, so it's not a big deal. And I think they gave up, probably, so pretty well played. We pressured well. Defense was like 8 out of 10, but we can't let these Elixir Golem players get away with it, you know what I mean? So that's a good game, and we'll see you in the next one. Into our next match here, we'll go ahead and throw out the good luck. If I usually have a hand like this, I'll wait to cycle something, but I'll just go ahead and E-Spirit on those bats right away and cycle a log. We'll be down 1 Elixir. Okay, Battle Healer's interesting. We'll wait a second, and then we'll cycle our knight into it. We want to make sure that against the healer, we're fighting on our side of the bridge. Okay, goes for the E-Golem, and we're going to get a really nice rocket here. Should hit everything. Beautiful. That healer is a nuisance, unfortunately. Okay. Fortunate for us, they don't activate the King Tower. That was a mistake on my part, to be completely honest. Let's find out if they have a bar barrel. Dark Prince. Okay, force out the arrows and log. Wow. I'm gonna throw up the wow because my dude was ready. He's lost to Logbait enough times because this deck never usually runs those. It'll run like Rage or Rage and Tornado, but to have arrows log is interesting. It's interesting to say the least. I'm gonna Tesla right here. We do have our rocket in cycle. We want to have our princess as well. We know that they have arrows for the princess, but if they're arrowsing the princess, they aren't, you know, using that on defense. So we're going to get a well-timed log and then a well-timed E-Spirit here. And then our Evo Knight is going to pull everything back. Should be an easy defense. Goes for the arrows, so I'm going to go for my Goblin Gang. Knowing that if they log this, they won't have anything for the barrel, and that's exactly what they do. Kind of like a bait, like a soft bait in a sense, if you think about it, because we knew that they used their arrows. So if they log that, they had literally nothing to defend this, and we take their entire tower. That feels pretty good. I don't know about you, but I don't like losing to Elixir Golem players. It's not my favorite thing in this life. We do need to set up one more defense, though. We're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, he's going for a split lane push. Not a horrible play, to be completely honest. But we just want to pull everything to the middle. Beautiful, beautiful. Goblin Gang super low. Princess super low. E-Spirit to pull this over here. We're going to get a nice log on everything. And we didn't even have the King Tower activated, but we didn't even need it per se. And at this point left in the game, there's no way they're breaking through. So we'll go ahead and give them the good game. And that was scary. Like, when you're playing against E-Golem like that, you mess up one defense and you kind of get cooked. But we lived. So that's a good game, and we will see you in the next one. Going in for the perfect 12-0 here. No pressure, right? We'll go ahead and throw out the good luck and see what the matchup looks like. That's always the concern, right? Same starting hand as last game, pretty much. So I'm going to chill, and then I will cycle a log if they don't do anything. So they drop a Heal Spirit. Interesting. Could be 3 Musketeers. Could be a lot of things. I'm going to pressure opposite lane. I don't have anything great to cycle into the Little Prince. unfortunately. Okay, well, I'm going to cycle to my knight here. I do need it for the little prince. I'm going to play it really low. Looks like it could be Elixir Golem or normal Golem, actually. Yeah, there's the E-Golem. I'm going to play my Goblin Barrel in the safe spot and see what they do. See what they do. See what they do. See what they play. Okay. Dude, why is that a play? I don't understand. Okay. Good rocket for me. Take care of the healer. Goblin gang down low. Gets an okay rage, but our tower's gonna live with a lot of HP. What was the play there, dude? What? I don't understand. All right, so we're a minute and 30 seconds away from a perfect 12-0 in the challenge. We'll see. I didn't need to pressure there, but I just wanted to apply a little bit of pressure because if this does go into a 2-tower game, we're at a severe disadvantage. So just trying to avoid that if possible. Okay, I'm going to take the rocket here. Interesting strategy, I will say. Okay, he's probably going to rage this up, so I'm going to go like this. Okay, we're fine. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Princess, please. Nah, good block. We're not going to get any damage there. Now, I am going to log here just to eliminate the risk of Evo Skeletons getting on my tower. That's what we don't want. Yeah, he's going to build up a massive split lane push with 2 Elixir Golems. That is their favorite thing to do. The good news is they will not have Evo Skeletons, so that makes our life great. We're going to have 2 princesses down as well. There's the second E-Golem. I'm going to go like Goblin Gang like this to DPS it down. He wastes the rage, so... Okay. Come on, come on. No, don't do it to me. Yeah, I'm going to let that tower go, I think. I'm scared, Chad. I'm scared, please. Okay, we got it. Alright, I told you that was the only way we choke is if we lose that second tower, so... Not my cleanest defense, I panicked a bit, but hopefully you learned something about that matchup. So that's a perfect 12-0 in the Classic Challenge. So there you have it, a perfect 12-0 in a Classic Challenge. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you give Logbait a try. It's really, really good. If you enjoyed the content, please consider dropping a subscription to the channel. Like I said, completely free for you and it helps me a ton. And we'll see you in another video real soon.